Mungle, and my husband is Ken. He's the director of the Extension Services Division at Grace International School. And so I wanted to talk with you today because we were a homeschooling family for 7 years, and this is our second year at Grace. And this time is different than when we were homeschooling. And I want to give you kind of a tour of what we do just quickly, so hopefully you can gain a few tips and see what works for you. This is what works for our family. There are many ways to homeschool, and I want you to get just a few ideas of something you might want to incorporate to make your day a little bit easier.
Okay, so we have a few questions for you as a result. The first one is can you just take us through the children that you have in the house so that people can get an idea of what you're talking about when you talk about routines and technology and whatever else?
So our youngest is 14 months old, and from there we have a few different gaps. We have Max, who's in first grade. He's 6. Callie is behind you reading a book. And Jack is over here in his technology. He's in the 8th grade this year. I should say Callie is in 4th if I didn't say that. So we have quite the wide range from preschool to first grade to 4th grade to middle school.
Okay, so with that in mind, first question, a couple questions about routine. What routine works for you?
Yeah, so there's a difference between a routine and a schedule, and we've chosen routine because I am not a by-the-clock person. So everyone's day needs to start by 9 a.m. They've had breakfast, and then they're ready to go for the day. Hudson, our youngest, is usually napping by that point, and so I can give my one-on-one time with Max to help him through his schoolwork because there's not a lot independently he can do. So I concentrate my time with him during that first nap. And then Callie separates her work into what she can do on her own and what she might need a little bit of assistance with. And then Jack is pretty much independent at this point. It's just checking in with him. So that's how our day begins. And then around 10:30, the kids know between 10 and 10:30 they can do a snack time. And snacks are already, we have a drawer for them. They can go pick one and off they go. Beyond that, kitchen is off limits because I can't afford to feed these kids all day long. Their water cups are here. They have 1 cup for the day and it sits on a coaster of their own. So we're not going through lots of dishes during the day. And then we have lunch together. After that, usually the younger ones are finished by this point. Callie and Max will go and do a music time. So we have a ukulele here that I'm learning how to play as well during this time, which has been fun. Callie has a recorder. Jack has a guitar. So we all take time throughout the day, at least we're supposed to, for 20 to 30 minutes to work some sort of music, not just listen to it. And then the day ends by 2 o'clock usually for Jack. And then that's when the kids can get media time, like playing on our Wii or doing something on a tablet maybe. But until then, they just know that we don't have any media time. It's encouragement to get the school day finished and to not focus on that so much.
All right, that was awesome. Space has been a question that people have been asking. How do you organize the workspace for the kids while they're in school?
So what's been most beneficial for us is to have a place where the schoolwork goes throughout the day. So it starts off, and they each have a cubby. It's around the corner here, and all their work goes in there. And then on our shelf, we have pens, pencils, erasers, things that they might need, as well as a pencil sharpener. And so they take care of all those things on their own. We're fortunate now because we do have 2 tables in our house, and so we use one for crafts and schooling, and then the other one we use for eating. But when we homeschooled, we didn't have that. We just had 1 table, and it was multi-purpose. When it came time for lunch, if we weren't finished, everything got moved down, and we just ate where we were. So when the kids finish, they don't get their media time or anything until everything is put back where they found it for the day, so we can start again that way. I will say one of the hardest things for me is to not try and clean up throughout the day. My job is to just help my kids and get their day finished. That's difficult because I know most people don't have a Maybon right now too, but you cannot wear all of these hats. At least I can't. So I've got to just focus on one at a time.
Okay, technology was another question that people have asked. Some families have multiple Chromebooks in the home. That's kind of what we have now. So how do you manage that from a security standpoint, from just general extra technology in the house?
Yeah, so we keep all of the technology in this room. The hardest part for us has been if there is a conference time, Jack is usually the one that needs a quiet room. We still don't allow him to take it to his room, even though we trust him. It's just one of those safety parameters we put in place. So all of us will leave the room to give him a quiet place, or he goes. We have one bedroom downstairs that's kind of a multi-purpose room that is used for that. The other kids, we have their screens facing us so we can see what they're doing at all times.
Okay, excellent. Let's see. So the other set of questions is about recharging and doing extracurricular things. So we've already talked a little bit about the ukulele and our built-in music time. Callie has music class, so she actually has assignments, but the other kids don't really have music class. So we just encourage them to play an instrument or...
So a way that we can recharge through the day is to have a quiet time for everyone where they could go away, do their reading, be in their rooms. Usually that comes at a time where it's just a bit chaotic. We say, okay, everyone just take a break and go off by your own. Because we have a 14-month-old, it's really hard for everyone to take a break. And so it usually happens at different points throughout the day. I try to get my break time during Hudson's second nap because all the homeschooling is done at that point, and I have to tell myself I'm not cleaning right now. This is time for me that I won't have at a different point throughout the day.
That's great. One of the other things that we do too is I've downloaded the Nike Training Center app, and with it we do a little bit of ad hoc PE. So that's fun, and the kids enjoy that. Do you enjoy the PE?
Yeah.
He doesn't really. He doesn't really.
Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of complaining with that, but that's okay. It's a way for us to do indoor physical exercise, not just with the social distancing, but also with the air quality issues that we have. It's been that's been okay. Okay, let's see. Last sets of questions. What have been your greatest challenges in these last couple of weeks?
It's different. Of course, having your kids all day to where you can't just send them out and you can't get away with a friend for a while. So having them together all the time has been a challenge. And the way that I've curbed part of that is to save games that are specific for a recess time when my kids can't go outside and play. So it's been a challenge to have them inside all the time. That's one of the ways that we can balance that, is to have things that are special for them. And as I said before, having a house that's getting dirtier throughout the day, just having people in it and moving things back and forth, that's just been hard for me. I need to remember that this is just a period of time and life will resume in a new normal at some point, but that's been a challenge. And then having to assign everyone some new chores because we're all in it together, making sure everyone is contributing to the mess that we're making. That's been helpful for me.
Okay, and then last question. Do you have any advice that you would give to parents who are new to this, working in a context? So this isn't homeschooling. We're talking about families who are educating at home with the help of Grace teachers, but the children are in the home all day. Is there anything that you would tell them?
Yes, I would say just remember, you're not trying to recreate school. I think I felt that as a big burden when I started homeschooling, is feeling like I've got to get 6 hours a day in, and they have to have all these extracurriculars. And really right now, this isn't just homeschooling. I've read it elsewhere, like this is crisis schooling. So we're just trying to get some of the very basics in. That would be my biggest tip, is you create your environment at home. This is going to be a really beautiful time with your family. Chaotic, yes. Difficult, yes. But it's something really special because you can dictate your day how you want. I mean, if we want to do our Bible study at lunchtime instead of right before bed, we can do that. So you do have some freedom that you wouldn't otherwise have, and you probably won't have a time like this again in your life.
Awesome. Thank you. I think this has been my favorite interview. Okay, let's say goodbye. Maxwell, goodbye. Jack can't say goodbye because he's got his headphones on in his quiet, private space. And then Callie Girl's wrapping up. Goodbye. Okay, see y'all.